See, other students, you are screen sharing or whether they are there or not. Your exams are going on.
Yes.
Social का हो गया? No. When it is?
Monday.
Monday. देखिए. Admitted, no?
Anyone coming? Payment.
ML is doing only social classes. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. In the previous classes, we have studied about election processes. We have learned about so many processes and concluded by voting and declaration of the result. That much we have studied. Now, in India, the elections are democratic or not? We have to discuss. What make the elections in India democratic? Okay. Am I audible, Emanali?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, can you please tell the page number?
Page number, what is the page number? 47.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So in this part, See, we have studied about in China also elections are there, Pakistan also, then so many countries elections we have started this saying in our first lesson. But in India, want to make elections democratic. This is what we are going to see. But along with that, we are hearing about so many things which are not a satisfiable thing. That means which are not happy things. One is that the inclusion of false names and exclusion of genuine names in the voters list. The other day we have studied about voters list. In that, the names have to be included time to time. So sometimes false names are included and names are excluded. So that is one of the important thing which happened in all the elections. Second is that misuse of government facilities and officials by the ruling party. As they are in power, they are having all the things in their custody. So they misuse that government machinery for election purpose. Understood? What is that? Just before the election, they are announcing, if we come to power, we will do like this. So people are voting for that. So that is not a correct procedure. Next, excessive use of money by rich candidates and big parties. See, in order to get these points, you have to mark with under. Okay. What is that? Excessive use of money of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think so. 5 points are there. So money is used lavishly in the election process. By seeing the money power, people vote to that. So that is also a wrong procedure. Next is intimidation of voters and rigging. Rigging on the polling day. What is intimidation? What is the intimidation is that the person who comes for voting, they are threatened and forced to vote to that party. That is what a intimidation. Got it? This word is
Ma'am,
clear. Intimidation is understood. You could see the board or not?
no, ma'am. We are not able to see the board.
Oh, so okay. Also, when you also read, she also did not get right. Ah, 11 on 20, political science. Oh my God, 20. But 11, where you know history? 5 marks question is there. After the main events of October revolution, I accidentally write about it. Make me February revolution. That was the 5 marks, but they did not give any choice. Then other. So that's that. Yes. Thank you. November. But 3 chapters are coming, ma'am. French Revolution, Russian Revolution, and subsequent Yes, all 3 lessons are. And in politics, okay. Other than that, what is the statement? आदित्य है आयरन आयरन no okay listen don't waste classes उसके पहले खत्म करने का yes what is rigging so this practice is that votes are put in the name of one person. It is also related to both capturing. That is, they capture the both one political party's voters and then vote to be put in the name of that particular person. This is what a rigging. So intimidation and rigging. These are the practices which are done. That is not proper practice. That is illegal practices. Okay. Many of these reports are correct. We feel unhappy when we read or see such reports, but fortunately, they are not on such a scale as to defeat the very purpose of election. But it is happening in certain pockets only. It is not in a massive scale. So the real the aim of that election is not getting challenged. Understood? Okay, some types of practices are there. It is happening in certain areas. So anyhow, the very very purpose of that election is not getting challenged. Okay, this becomes clear if we ask a basic question. Can a party win an election and come to power not because it has popular support, but through electoral malpractices? So if such a question is asked, only through malpractices any party can come to power? No. So from that point, we can understand that even though there are certain malpractices, elections are held in the country in a proper way. So, okay, that is part of that. That 100% clear, it cannot take place. That perfection cannot be there because political parties are always contesting to get power. So they do some malpractice. That attendance you have signed. Okay. So they do or they engage in certain malpractices, but still a major part, that is at least 75 to 80% without the malpractices, it is winning. So that shows that how in India elections are democratically taking place. Now, chapter 4, working of the institutions. Don't waste it, don't worry about that. You will try. Or if it is not getting over, that an asset is to be completed. And second is that is that will be. Don't worry about that. You just to forget about that Russian Revolution. So how elections are democratic in India? One of the most important feature which tells that Indian election is democratic is we have an independent election commission. So first point, you just mark or write. Okay, this point are you writing or you marking? Okay.
I'm writing.
Ah. We have one independent election commission. So this election commission conducts that election process. We have learned in the other class from the declaration of the date of election till the declaration of the result, the whole processes are managed by this election commission. Such a powerful organ it is. That is what I have done in a different way. See, elections are taking place in a free and fair manner. Do you remember in our first lesson we have studied free and fair elections? So this conducting of free and fair election is done by an independent election commission. Okay. Do they have enough powers to be able to conduct free and fair election? Yes. Yes. Do they actually use these powers? Yes. That we have to see how they are using. The answer to all these questions is quite positive for our country. In our country, elections are conducted by an independent and very powerful election commission. It enjoys the same kind of independence that the judiciary enjoys. So means in the next lesson, as you told, fourth lesson is coming, the institutions we will study. The judiciary we will study how much independent, how much powerful that institution is. So the same way, election commission is also powerful. See, earlier the election commission was very earlier means in the initial stages not that much, but in the middle period it was very powerful. Now this election commission is controlled by the government. President is the government. President appoints election. Appoints that time you also control the president. Virtually impossible for it to remove the chief election commission. We have this election commission consisting of chief election commissioner, CEC, chief election commissioner, plus 2 commissioners. Okay, election commission consists of chief election commissioner and 2 commissioners. This election commissioner and commissioners were, chief election commissioner is appointed by president. Okay, the other commissioners, there was a process. In that process, that prime minister, and opposition party leader, and one more. So like that, in a different way, only these commissioners used to be appointed. But the recent election, just before the election, 2 commissioners were appointed just dictatorially. Opposition party was not consulted. So that shows that the government is interfering in that. Actually, it was made in such a way that no such interference will come. So they should also be involved in the process of appointment. Okay, so how many members are there? Three members. And then they cannot take any decision dictatorially. If there is a conflict of opinion, voting will be done among these members. Then majority. So that way only decision. So in order to make it completely impartial way, these processes are made important. Clear? This point is clear. Now, very few election commissions in the world have such wide-ranging powers. Now, let us see what are the powers of this election commission. Okay. One. Election Commission takes decisions on every aspect of conduct and control of elections from the announcement of election to the declaration of result. Okay, so Election Commission's powers, what are the powers? First one, Election Commission take the decisions from that means the declaration of the date of election till declaration of the result. Just naming and okay, this so be present, try to listen. If you are not understanding, you can ask. Try to listen maximum because you missed lot of classes. So there will not be that connectivity. Okay, listen. So first power you understood. What is that? EC decides decisions. Decides the whole election process, and I just wrote in a different way. Election process from the declaration of first point is clear to you? Now second, it implements the code of conduct and punishes any candidate or party that violates. Do you remember that code of conduct? I have told you. I just told to Mark also. Yeah. You just see code of conduct. What is that? Okay. No. Okay. So if anybody violates the model code of conduct, that person or the party will be punished. So the whole aspect of election related things are decided by election commission. Code of conduct, no. Now, third one. During the election period, election commission can order the government to follow some guidelines to prevent the use and misuse of governmental power to enhance its chances to win election or to transfer some government officials. See, it can give guidelines to the government. It can instruct the government what to do, what not to. If the government, if election commission feel that this ruling party will violate, किसको? टेक्स्ट बुक का है, पीपीटी नहीं है, टेक्स्ट बुक का है। So बोर्ड भी इसलिए शेयर भी हो रहा है। share हो रहे हैं बोर्ड पे share हो रहे हैं text
बोर्ड ही शेयर है वो नहीं
हाँ ये text book है science paper in 5 minutes now so 5 minutes extra oh. So what happened if the Aditya
Yes, ma'am.
see it is from textbook only then nothing other PPT is not the textbook only okay
Yes, ma'am.
then eminently textbook only we are seeing
Yes, ma'am, I got it.
okay so what next one is that government should not misuse its power to get board. That is why they can introduce certain guidelines or orders. Its orders are final. Understood? That is the way, the third way election commission is showing its power. Next, fourth way, when on election duty, the government officers work under the control of election commission and not the government. See, when any person is appointed for election duty, they are working under the election commission, not for the institution they are working. That means government or non-governmental institutions. So those. Let us take it. No. Let's switch here. I will ask the question by removing this one and you have to answer all that points, whatever I huh? Listen very carefully. Huh? First thing हमें समझ नहीं आ रहा है So, when they are appointed for doing this kind of work, they are working under the election commission. The day onwards, when the day first onwards, that is for training purpose, they are called. They are given that they work in some other places. Every work they are doing for election commission, not for the institution. If I am given the work, I am working for one school. But that school's work is secondary. The primary work I have to do is for election. I cannot give any excuse for that. Okay. In the last 25 years or so, the election commission has begun to exercise for its purpose. Okay. All its powers and even expand them. I have told you. So earlier, only one election commissioner was there. So that election commissioner used to be the puppet of the government. So in order to change that, this way, 3 election commissioners. That means one chief election commissioner and 2 hosts. Okay. So, it is very common now for election commission to reprimand the government and their administration for their lapses. If the government is not doing its work properly, the government can be punished or warned by this election commission. Such powerful agency is election commissioner. Then, when election officials come to the opinion that polling was not fair in some booths or even an entire constituency, they order a recall. Means if in the constituency or certain polling booths, some malpractices occurred, they can ask for repoll in that particular polling booths or the full constituency. Okay. Now, the ruling parties often do not like what election commission does, but they have to obey. This would not have happened if the election commission was not independent and powerful. So the first condition for free and fair election process is having an independent election commission. Its powers we have studied. Okay. And
Election commission is independent.
it is independent, but to certain extent, recently it is controlled by the government. But the Supreme Court is above that. So people can file the complaint in the Supreme Court. Okay. What is the next point? Use popular participation. See, another way to check the quality of the election process is to see whether people participate in it with enthusiasm. So, second way of making it fair is to check whether people participate in the election process. The other classes we have discussed now, there is a process that nota. At least people go to the polling booth to vote for nota is also a participation. Understood? So, the popular participation is one of the way to check whether it is done in a free and fair manner. So, if the election process is not free or fair, people will not continue to participate in the exercise. Now, how we can identify popular participation? A. Voter turnout. What is the meaning of voter turnout? How many people come to vote? The percentage of people come for voting is voter turnout. That makes sense. Or you just take down these points and writing it on the board. Okay. So how much percentage of voters are coming for voting process is called voter turnout. So recent years, if the picture is seen, there is a decline in the voter turnout, but still people show enthusiasm in the participation. Very recently, we have seen 2-3 stages of election had taken place in Jammu and Kashmir. And the voter turnout in Jammu and Kashmir is very much high. So they want to express their feeling towards. Now, Union Territory also elections are there. Yes, it is there. But now they are voting or they are showing the answer towards the removal of 370, Article 370. So they come forward to show, express their disregard for that. They want Jammu and Kashmir together. They want their freedoms back. So that is why their voter turnout was very high. Understood? The ruling party did not imagine this kind of voter turnout. That way. Okay. So this is one of the way to express the feelings and attitudes of the people towards that election. Okay, voter turnout is clear to you. Now, people's participation in election is usually measured by voter turnout figures. Turnout indicates the percent of eligible voter who actually cast the vote. Over the last 50 years, the turnout in Europe and North America has declined. In India, the turnout has either remained stable or actually gone up. Okay, it did not decline for that much downward trend. It did not show, but if it decline also not. I have told you the introduction of nota is one aspect. At least they come to the polling booth, show that they have voted. Nobody knows that whom they have voted, but still they show the participation. It is important. She is preparing for answering the question. See, we have seen this line. Pink line shows UK. So declining trend. Okay. Very recently there is an increase. But we have seen that here the initial period it was low, but then it started increasing, and it did not decline. And 60. But now you see that some areas it is going up to 80%. Some constituencies they are giving, that is 80%, 78%, 72%. Kerala and all, they are showing, they are going to the polling booth at any cost. Okay. So other states, there may be variations, but still the trend is continuing. It is not going so much down. Okay. Now, this is 91 to 2015. Now, second, in India, the poor, illiterate, and underprivileged people vote in larger proportions. Second is that poor, illiterate, and underprivileged. They vote in large numbers. See, when I used to be on the election duty, I used to see that 7 o'clock sharp that election process will start. And the line of that 7 o'clock it is morning. So 7 o'clock means we have to start from 5 o'clock onwards, especially to be set. There's so many other processes. 7 o'clock, if you see, the people that maids, housemates, and those who want to go for work, all those people used to be in large numbers. But when we think about that middle class, that is like us, the number will be less. Why? There's the reason. Majority of the people think that my vote is not going to make any difference. If I vote or not, it's not going to make any difference. Like that, you just imagine if there is a polling booth, 1,000 people have to vote. Out of that 1,000, 800 are middle class, and 800 think that my vote is not going to make any difference. Nobody will vote. I'm just giving an example. Or they think, I did the shooting. सोने का, उठने का, खाने का, so छुट्टी, election को normally छुट्टी देते हैं. So that is what for us they did. Okay. Now, what is that? Many people think like that. They are very lazy. So, but when we see the poor, illiterate, and underprivileged sections, they are very active in that election. Because they think that it is my right, I should not waste my right. That is what. Okay. common people in India attach a lot of importance to election.
In that, for people who think that election times.
You might think so, you know. I'm talking about my country. I'm talking about
Okay, but happening is certain candidates
no, in India, poor, illiterate, and underprivileged people vote in large in proportion. In the United States, it is different. We are going to talk about our country only. We are not going to talk about the US. Okay. Point is clear? Common people attach a lot of importance to election process. We know that election activities are there. That is, what is that? Marches, speeches, and so many other election-related activities. People participated. Even that younger generation, the youth, used to participate in the rallies and all. They may be going just to get something. The political parties will give them food or something. So anyhow, they join that political party rallies. So this is what our election process. Common people show that much participation. They may not have that affinity to that political party, but they show the participation in different ways. That is sticking the debates, that notice on that boards, that writing on the boards. All this people voluntarily participate. So that is the meaning. Not even in the not just in the election, but the election related activities. So they participate. Clear this point? Next. Are you getting that online people?
Yes, ma'am.
All those points are clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
See, here there is a kind of voting. Do you think your vote makes a difference? So 67% of people in India tells that my vote make a difference. Has not affect 18% and don't know 15%. So this is what the way they are showing the interest in election related activities. Fourth one, the interest of voters in election-related activities has been increasing over years. This is the point connected to that. So, election-related activities. See, in my childhood, I have seen one this thing. What is that? I was in boarding school. So, very young age, I was in boarding school. That time, in that boarding, that foreigners came. So after election, one rally was there. This that rally, they were lifting that candidate and so many ways they were showing their happiness. And this foreigners saw this rally, and they did not understand what is going on. They were so much happy to see that they were so enthusiastic. Means what is happening is very real, nice scene. They thought that some show is going on. So I still remember I was small kid. I was just, I think third standard, fourth standard, I was studying. So, but this foreigners were so much enthusiastic to see. In the country that was not there. That is why. So that is for the participation of people in election related activities. Got it? Fourth point, that is common people participate in the election related activities. So 2 points we have studied, and now third point we are going to see. The- Next point is that the third point is that accept the election outcome. So they take the election result positively. So sometimes the ruling party may get a very bad result, very less number of vote or percentage of vote, still they accept it. This accept it as the voters' verdict. Voters did not want us to continue. This positively they are accepting. This is what the way to test whether election is taking place fair and free or not. See, one final test of free and fairness of election has in the outcome itself. If elections are not free or fair, the outcome always favors the powerful. We have studied in Mexico. Every election that ruling party PRA will win. In Zimbabwe, that ruling party only value PF. Okay. Only win. So like that, if it is not a free and fair election, only the ruling party will continue to win always. Okay. So, but in India, what is that? The ruling party have a chance to lose it, and the ruling party accept that, and the opposition can emerge as a ruling party. All these things are the ways to test what happened. We come here. We go there. अब मैं हम यही करेगा अगली बार. हाँ. Okay. See here, these points also. This, listen, these points you have to mark. How election outcome tells us. The ruling parties routinely lose elections in India, both at the national and state level. In fact, every 2 out of the 3 elections held in the last 25 years, the ruling party lost. So that is the outcome. And both the ruling party and the opposition accept it. Next, in the US, an incumbent or sitting elected representative rarely loses an election. Clear? In India, about half of the sitting MPs or MLAs lose election. That is the second point. Third, candidates who are known to have spent a lot of money on buying votes. What is the meaning of buying the votes? There is no chance that by giving money, see, if I am going to voting booth to vote, I have been given a lot of money by one party. Just, I did not get it. I'm just giving an example. When I go inside the polling booth, whom I am voting, that particular person is not going. I will vote to the person whom I want to vote. That is what happened. That is, those who spend a huge amounts, a lot of money on buying vote, and those with non-criminal connections often lose elections. Barring very few disputed elections, the electoral outcomes are usually accepted as people's verdict by the defeated party. Very few cases. Sometimes the persons are winning just by 52 votes. The very recent Lok Sabha election, one person won by 52 votes. So the second person filed a complaint to verify it. And the court asked if that is in front of that court, it had to be verified. Verified and that person only declared elected. So very small margin only. No? The person has won with a small margin. So this kind of small disputes arise, but there is a way to solve it. Okay. Now, this part is another important question. What are the challenges for free and fair election? Here 3 points we have studied. You listen now. Now the challenges for free and fair election. See, free and fair election, how it is taking place, we have studied. For that also some challenges are there. See, elections in India are basically free and fair. The party that wins an election and forms government does so because people have chosen it over its rivals. This may not be true for every constituency. A few candidates may win purely on the basis of money, power, and unfair bids. But the overall verdict of a general election still reflects popular preferences. There are very few exceptions to this rule in the last 60 years of our country. This is what makes Indian elections democratic. These points you have to study. First point, you just read.
Parties with a lot of money may not be sure of their victory, but they do enjoy a big and unfair advantage over smaller parties and independents.
First point is that parties and candidates with money and muscle power have unfair advantage. Okay? See, actually, they are not having surety about the winning. That is why they are using. So, those who are using money, power, or muscle power have unfair advantage. कल उसका बर्थडे था। गांधी का कल बर्थडे था। गांधी जयंती थी ना। सेकंड रिलेटेड। अरे रिमोट बना कर सकती हो तो। अरे मैंने तो 2 मशीन उधर भी और 200 हाँ that one bring it up हाँ अपना चल रहा है अपना चल रहा है break break no break I want to नहीं हाँ on it I'm at least 2 minutes last 2 minutes second point is that in some parts of the country, candidates with a criminal connection have been able to push others out of the electoral race and to secure a ticket from major parties. So, those who are having lot of money and criminal background, they try to get the ticket from the political parties. What is ticket here? First ticket.
Like no, that for Paris state. So in third parliament to go and
No, you contest the election. Contest the election. That permission.
have to go and participate.
No. Party ticket is for contesting the election. Then they have to win. Understood? They have to win. So for contesting purpose, parties are that is leaders of the parties are choosing its candidate. No? Then the candidate have to contest election. So that particular right to contest the election is called a ticket. So here, those with the money power or those with the muscle power or criminal background, they used to contest. Then some families tend to dominate political parties. Tickets are distributed to relatives from these families. See, in 10th standard, you will study in a different way the same thing. What is that? A dynastic succession. Dynastic succession is that from the same party that persons are getting that chances to contest the election and they are holding highest offices. That is what. Next, very often elections offer little choice to ordinary citizens for both the major parties are quite similar in their politics. So, common people did not get even so many candidates are there, but they are not having the real choice because the parties are almost the same. The principles of the parties are almost same, so they did not have real choice. Next one is smaller parties and independent candidates suffer a huge disadvantage compared to bigger parties. So smaller parties are not having that much money power to withstand the competition with the richer parties and powerful parties. These are the challenges, all 5 challenges you have to take. Read it and then tell me. I'll write it down. Very first, we completed that lesson. We should get to that. Read no, I mean what to say. अरे होमवर्क मैं भी किया
मैंने किया है,
मैं करती हूँ
मैंने किया है,
सही दोनों ने एक स्ट्राइक की है
नहीं हुआ,
मैं वो मेरी बुक का नाम लिखा था सुंदर हाथी Okay.
Please,
I will first give in homework time.
Sir is very Let me know what happened. Please. Gandhi or Harshvardhan teaching to bed.
Suppose.
सर है ना क्लासरूम से काम कर रहे हैं अभी के वर्क होते हैं और ना फिर ना जब सर ने काम करना स्टार्ट किया निकल गया सर ने तीनों क्लास निकाल और ना फिर बहुत सारा पनिशमेंट के सबको काम किया तो किसी करना पड़ता है और ये क्या नहीं है नहीं है मैंने तेरा नहीं था मैंने सब कुछ अपने क्लास से और रिमूव कर ब्यूटी